Hi, welcome to the Accountability Experiment. This video series is two people, myself and my friend Aaron, holding each other accountable to reaching our goals. We've got some bigger goals for ourselves, and these are the real, raw conversations of us holding each other accountable to going after our bigger dreams and missions. And the intention of this channel is one for people to get inspiration from our conversations, and the other goal and vision for this channel is for people to listen to these conversations and say, "Man, I want to go after my goal," and then they reach out on this channel and comment, reach out to me, and we actually have a recorded conversation. We put it up on the channel of defining this person's goals, your goals maybe, and your vision, and the actions you need to take in order to reach your goals. And then we put those conversations here on YouTube for other people to be inspired by your vision and your mission and the things that you want to do in the world. And creating a community of people that are listening and watching and helping each other and reaching out to each other to actually help those dreams come true for each other. So I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you'll see Charlie in the background. He's my rubber chicken. I help empower people to not let fear hold them back and basically not be a chicken. There's a whole bigger there's a bigger, deeper, meaningful story behind Charlie and these little tiny rubber chickens that I give away. Anyways, I've given away about 1,500 and helping people, and part of my mission is to give away 10,000 of these little things. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the channel. I hope you enjoy the episodes. They're raw, they're unedited. They're just real conversations of people going after their goals and the things that come up in life. And I hope they make a difference for you. And if you got any questions, or if you want to be a part of the conversations to reach your goals, reach out and we'll see what we can do. Have a great day.
Did the Zoom
Recording is in progress with
you
or
get,
without
get,
your permission.
get of it? They're just gonna get better and better. Hey, boys, the recording is in process. Do you want this to happen right now?
Why is it got to be a lady?
I know they chose a lady. They must know it's two guys, Brad and Aaron, maybe.
Hey, how do you?
How did
Why is this fictional computer uh, already assessing my sexuality?
exactly? Maybe me and you are lovers.
Yeah, get it right, computer that doesn't exist.
Yeah, Zoom's being homophobic.
I don't know. This is the Zoom in your mind, okay?
Uh,
The stories we make up. Um, okay, so accountability, a couple things to go over, right? Um, it makes a difference. You just calling me out last week of like, dude, why don't you get some more stuff done? You could do a lot more.
well, that's
You could
that's the
do
way I
more
wanted
than
to
one
say it.
thing. What?
That's that's the way I wanted to say it to you. I try to be a little bit more tactful. I wanted to be like, "Hey, come on, man! You just said 20 out. Come on, you got to make a bigger list."
And I guess I've gone like on the spectrum of like getting stuff done from my normal way of thinking, I guess you could say, is like try to get a lot done really fast, da da da, you know.
Yeah,
And I would, get a lot of things done in my life in whenever I'm trying to accomplish a goal. And I've gone to the other spectrum, sort of on the other side of like taking it slower and being more contentful and waiting for things to happen. And there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, right? But there's also a like, okay, well, you're kind of going like the pace of a snail, and you know,
yeah, yeah.
um, which is a perfect analogy since I live in a motorhome. So take my home with me.
Take your home wherever you go. That's funny. Yeah, you're a snail. It's true.
Yeah. Um, So, anywho,
Well, I have feedback on that if you want, really quick.
yeah,
Um,
go for it.
yeah, I think something with me and you because we're presenting very much the rough draft of these collaboration stuff, and I definitely have a lot of experience with accountability strategies and working and supporting, teams.
Yeah.
I've managed, I've owned three different businesses, so I'm with you in this process. And so I'm somewhat more comfortable to like call you out and push you in some stuff. I know as you are as the coach are hopefully supporting, but you'll probably you'll get a very educated group of people too that will be wanting the accountability, right? And then you'll be trying to motivate them. So in our exchange, I am getting comfortable with knowing you as long as I have to, yeah, to push some stuff. And I hope you're still comfortable with it because I do feel it's right, and I'm excited about
No,
what.
that's what I
Yeah,
would be hypocritical if I would be like, Aaron, I'm going to hold you accountable, but
no, right,
do
right,
not question my stuff. Like I will hold
yeah.
myself
I
accountable.
good, and I guess what I'm stepping on is a little bit more is even I'm throwing out even some of my coaching experience as well because I want to help you. I remember in the beginning of the year, I said, dude, I want to start giving you a full lens of what I see. And you can take it or leave it. But I'm like, yeah, I now know you. I feel comfortable enough I've listened to your narratives. I've watched you walk through stuff. And so
Yeah.
I'm, yeah. So I do have some more thoughts because, like, yeah. So we'll see. I want to hear your accountability on this because I am like, you did, yeah. You had. I love that you saved to literally the last minute to make that video. And I'm walking down, clocking out of work, and and, and I'm like walking down. I'm like, oh, what a video. Well, I'm about ready to talk to him. What's the deal? And then I hit play, and I'm just like, oh my god! It's like the high schooler hurrying up and get their homework done before they get to the class, so that they like.
Well,
Oh,
one, I'm glad I did it. I feel better. So just to be
I bet you
straightforward,
sure. Yeah,
I don't know if I'm proud, but I also wrote on my list first draft.
yeah, nice.
And for some reason I had it in my mind of like, oh, I've got to have this thing like done and complete. And I'm like, this is just a first draft. A first draft is just like just get it out the door and like get the process started,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Um, real quick, what'd you think about the concept or the idea?
Yeah, I'd have to edit it because good. It's it's like I think it's like 3 minutes or so, but
It's
like the whole
real.
first what?
It's real. Calm
Yeah,
down.
it's like the first section is you more or less confessing like, okay, wait, I told myself I would do this, and then you did one of your patterns of like explaining why you hadn't done it instead of just doing it, right? And and I was just like, okay. And then all of a sudden you dropped right in to the video. So I'm like, in my head, my feedback would be, yeah, if that's your rough draft, you'll be looking at it to do something solid and clean. So I look forward to seeing that. But yeah, I kind of captured the last part. I was like, oh, whoa, he's saying it. He's saying his promotion right now because I was listening to all your other stuff. You know, there
Yeah.
wasn't like a there wasn't like a clear like, okay, here I go, ready. So that's the only thing. But I know you'll edit that, or you because you're gonna, like I said, you told me you're gonna make another one. That was your
Yeah.
first draft. So I'm with you in your pursuit of the first draft thing, and identifying that. That's important when we develop stuff. It's like giving ourselves that break. But it's
Yeah.
just as important to say I'm I'm finishing it. Like this is, you know, it's also showing, yeah, I want this to be a final draft. And then we have to
Yeah.
push past that fear to go ahead and put it on the website and put it out there into the world. And that's that whole other fear. That's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, I felt the once I got into it, I was like, okay, this is where I want to go. And like what you're just sharing about how I like to explain things, I've started to notice that with other people when I hear their conversations. I'm like, oh, they're just explaining to this, and that's been a lifelong pattern for me. of explaining something, then getting into it, then asking for the thing I want, and I've been getting better at just being more direct and bold and doing the thing or asking for the thing or whatever it is. And I see now the impact, or starting to see now the impact of, like, the beating around the bush of things.
Nice.
Off
Yeah,
the
I'd like to throw out there too, if for people do end up listening to this, this is a pattern I see in these groups, to be honest. Like I'd love to pass my years of observing this. This happens a lot, and that's why a lot of people hop from group to group because they're able to somewhat present and get known in a group. And then when they're too kind of get too known, they can't get away with shit anymore. And what I'm speaking to is like, I'm starting to know you more. And so I know that I'm now like, oh, okay, for me to be of service and to be a true partner and friend to Brad,
man.
I've got to say, hey, I'm catching you in this pattern, like us approaching your yawning process. Remember how we talked about that? And I was like, it's like one of your ticks that you started to recognize. You're like, it's a way of me escaping. And so that was a vulnerable moment we got to have. But that's when you have partners
Yeah.
that like stand by you. And the fact that you're saying, hey, I see a pattern. I know that in you, and I'm being more comfortable to speak that. And I know you've nailed me on a few things. I really appreciate it. But that to me is a little bit more of what I think um it's important. That is the sales pitch, which I don't even want to be the sales pitch. It is the truth of humans supporting humans and creating community.
Yeah.
AI isn't going to know, like you said it in your thing. AI can get your little program that's going to maybe keep you accountable or your alarm clock, but that's not being known. That's not knowing. And what you're presenting is something way more power. Something that you're offering is way more richer. Is to say, hey, I will take the time to see you. I will take the time and use my openness to get to know you, and I'll help support you and not be afraid when I see a pattern, and
Yeah.
to inspire. And that's something I think you're tapping into, and I want to support you in it and give you that confidence that you to do that, to be
Yeah.
grounded.
I do think, like my nerdiness and getting to know technology and stuff like that, and playing around with AI. I do think in the short future it will be able to pick up those patterns.
I think so too. Scary, yeah.
But the thing is if you say I catch your patterns, I feel more grounded and like, oh shit, like I need to, like, I want to keep this friendship. I want to keep this, this relationship. But if AI does it, I'll be like, so
Yeah,
thanks. You
right.
know, it,
Yeah.
it will bring another level of awareness, but I don't think it will be as impactful unless, we have like AI robots that are like police officers. Okay, then you're going to take me into this, like we get to that
Yeah, right,
point.
right. No.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
this is a it's a kind of taking out of our usual pattern right now, but this is a real rich conversation to be had. And we don't know the results yet of this. I'm seeing it in our parenting, seeing it in the next generation, and it's
yeah,
not here to say wrong, right, but I think this is some of these first practices that we're gonna have to work out as a society because AI is, yeah, it ain't going anywhere. We're gonna be using it on all forms, but
no,
how is that going to distract us from some of this personal relating? And so we might have to double down on, I don't know, like deeper communications or deeper times in like video chats. We might have to double down on hanging out with our neighbors more or something, like creating a more awareness of intimacy. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see where we're headed as a culture.
yeah. All right, well, let's get into this, and I'll jump into my accountability first since we're kind of already on that. I'm gonna pull up the new Trello board. Almost lost you. Let me share my screen. Um,
That is cool the way it kept my web page. Thought that was kind of cool.
I made that for you.
Oh, you did it. You made it the backdrop.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh,
I was
that's
like, well,
cool.
I wanted to personalize a little bit because
Yeah,
it helps.
agreed. I can, especially too, like when you're seeing. if you start having 10, 15, and each had that expression of what the person's working on, that right away would kick you into that visual.
Yeah. So let's see here. Views. All right. So from my perspective, I can see everybody's all of their action items like kind of all in one view, which is really cool, right?
Got it.
Not that I really want to look at it like that, but it is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And if I want to see all of your stuff, I can come in here and you know, this area specifically, just to kind of share you what my thought was, is like I want to have someone come in here and describe their big goals, what they
Yeah.
are, and then have in here the overarching idea of what they're trying to accomplish in their with this accountability, and
Uh-huh.
then the weekly action items, and then I'll show you mine. So mine's a little more, I don't want to say robust, but I kind of to work on it a little bit and added some things in,
Uh-huh.
which is a tendency for me, which goes along with that other thing of like over explaining or not doing the work and trying to get, you know, it's kind of in that realm. But
Yeah.
anyways, what I have come up with is, so the general template is your weekly action items, your big
Uh-huh.
goal, and then I've come up with just, this is just some other stuff that I'm like, okay, well, what are the other things that I can kind of just, if I'm going to use one thing to stay accountable,
Uh-huh.
this is where I want to keep it all, and it's kind of
Got
nice
it.
instead of having multiple places, right? Um, so the big goal description, and I could probably name that something different. So this is the idea of like me describing, or some person describing their goal as if it's been completed, and like the story of that. So this would be something, I sit down with, a client or someone that, comes on the channel and says, well, I've got a dream of doing this, and this is what I need help with, and I want to stay accountable towards it. So then we write down, or I have them come up with their story and then input it in here. So it's real, and it's been recorded, right? And we
Yeah.
can reference it and come back to it. And then this is the weekly action items. So these are the things that they will be taking each week. We can also have a column for, that month. If they want to keep their month thing, all we've got to do is create another column. Um,
Uh-huh.
then in, let's just say this is one of the actions items that I took last week, right? Um, I'm able to give it a label, so I'm waiting on someone right now. I'm waiting for my business registration to come back. I've given it like a little yellow label just to make it easy for me to understand of like
Mm.
where this thing is. I can put in
Is that a
comments.
drop down label thing? Is it a drop down? I see the little plus sign.
Yep. Yeah, you
Got
can
it.
label them here. You can
Okay.
get them different colors and such and whatnot. So it's really cool.
Nice.
Um, you can add in checklists. So let's just say we want a checklist. Uh, checklist one, item two, item
Okay.
three, and then so then when you come out of here and you're done with this, you can see, oh, I've got 3 items in here, 0 out of 3.
If you click on, does it drop down there? It opens it. Bummer. Okay.
Yeah, it does open it. Um, I guess you can edit it a little bit. But anyways, it gives you lots of options and lots of different things that you can do with it. You can add pictures and dates and due dates and stuff like that. There's automations that could be done with it. I could add some forms in here and a bunch of other things that I don't know about yet.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of things that can be done, within here. And from my perspective, I'm sold on it. Like, this is going to work.
Okay. Nice.
Um, and it's got the mobile view and everything like that. Um, you can come in here to see a timeline version if you really wanted to. I'm not I'm not really wanting to do this, but just gives you different ideas. You can see like how many actions you're taking, and you can start to watch like when people are doing things. Kind of gives you some like reporting. Asana did some of this too, and I think Asana does makes it looks a little bit better, but um, it gives you a different way of looking at it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and
like for 20 people on Asana is like $260 a month. This
Yeah.
is like 15 or
A
two.
month. Yeah, that's great starting place. Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah. Um, so anyways,
One. All right, go ahead. I have feedback when you're ready.
okay. And then I just started putting in like, okay, so I got my personal life in here too, and some things that I need to be doing, um, and some things that kind of come up with for like brainstorming. Like my brain, the way that things happen is I'll have all these ideas, and sometimes I think they're the next greatest idea, and they're going to be the next thing that's going to move something or move the needle. And I'm like, oh, I can't forget that. That's awesome. Like inspirational ideas or whatever. Um, and so I'm putting these in the brainstorm list, just things that I think of that come up and like, oh, this would be good to add in there. And maybe they work, maybe they don't, whatever. Um, and this, I've got the stuff to do around the house, the RV to do list, and just things I need to do, right?
Yeah, no, I got it
Um,
for sure.
and then we'll talk about this, for uh, with the job stuff that I messaged you about earlier, and we can kind
Yep.
of get into that later.
Okay.
Um, but anyways, I think I like it. I like it from my perspective. And yeah, share any feedback you want, please.
Um, so this is just on, you're still going through your task for last week. We'll have to go
Oh,
over
we
that.
haven't even touched that, but yeah.
Yep, exactly. Because I know, which is no problem. You're explaining this, so I want to, while we're on it, give you feedback. So uh, in your business plan, if I've been understanding you, so now we're getting all businessy right now. You have an idea, kind of a rough template that you're planning on. You're gonna like having about 100 clients, maybe, or 70 clients, depending on how much you charge a month,
No,
right? No, you'll
no, it's probably uh, 10 clients to begin with at
oh, okay,
297 a month.
okay,
And then from there it would go up further. So probably max 30
got it.
ish
Okay, so you'll
somewhere.
be rotating your goals to hopefully let's go for the 10 clients. And then you're the way so far you've set up the program, you meet with those clients one on one each week or in a group setting.
So they have here's the format that I've got right now. So they get the beginning program, which is the only thing I'm focusing on right now, so I don't overcomplicate things, is 2 private sessions a month where they're 30 seconds. I got stupid balloons. Come on.
Ah, right on. This is a party here. Got
All right,
going.
what do we do for thumbs up? Come on,
Yep,
give me.
there it is.
Did it do
There
anything
it
for
is.
the middle finger?
No, doesn't.
um, anyways, so 2 private 30-minute sessions a month where those are accountability. And damn fucking balloons, guys, turn I don't know how you turn that off. Um, and then there's 2 open coaching sessions per week that are about 30 to 45 minutes each. So anybody that's a client can join those like Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. So if
Hmm.
they need help during the week, they will always know like, hey, I can always join at 12 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday, and
Hmm.
I can get some help. Otherwise, and that would be in a group setting. But if no one else shows up, then it could be private for them,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
Um, it's a way to give someone flexibility to say, hey, you've got more access than just this, these 2 other times,
Got it.
which I think is very helpful. And some
Yeah.
people appreciate that. Like, okay, cool. I don't always need private, coaching. I just need some reflection. And sometimes it helps to actually have that group format because you get other ideas from other people too. So,
Okay.
um,
Yeah, that answers my question because when we were starting off part of the, yeah, you're fine tuning it, which is that's why I wanted cleared up. It was more like getting quite a few clients. They would meet all together on one day. and I wasn't processing how you were gonna be able to do that with a certain platform or whatever. This to me makes sense because you are the direct accountability partner. So now with
Yeah.
that, I'm Joe Schmo, which I am, but I'm Aaron Schmo. And I'm like, hey, okay, I already have my organizational structure that I use to make notes. Like I use OneNote and I use my iPhone notes. And I'm like, all right. Now I'm like, by really wanting just some accountability and someone to be on top of me and my life, like I want someone to see my strategy and I want to say, hey, here's what my goals are. One thing I'm seeing on this, like, oh yeah, gosh, do I gotta get used to another platform? And
No.
right. So that's what I'm checking in on. I'm like, okay, so I think I might make it really you explain it to me that I think I'm like, okay, I can just copy paste my thing and I'm gonna be able to drop it in here because I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think is your weekly action item. Like I think like the way you gave me my two and mine, the big goal description and that, which I made it a February thing. Because I did you had two forms in the beginning. We had the big goal
Yep.
form, right? And that's what you had. And so I'm going, yeah, that's the way we had discussed breaking it down. You'd first come, tell me your big goal plans, then you're going to set out monthly things, and then each week we're going to chip away at that. That makes sense.
Yep.
So
So with what you were just sharing, what works is two things. One, if someone, say it's someone like yourself, like I've already got a structure and I already like it, I
yep,
just need the personal accountability. They don't have to fill this out, but when we come into work together, either they're going to fill it out or I'm just going to fill it out for myself so I know what to hold them accountable for.
agreed.
So,
That's what I broke down. Yeah, cool. Yeah, because that's what you have.
so
Otherwise, it's not going to work. That's that thing of you've been exploring that. We've got to put it down, being specific, so that I can come to you, which we're about ready to do, is look at
yeah.
each other's list and go,
Yep.
okay, exactly. Okay, good.
Okay, cool. So with this actually gives me a good working idea here. I want to change this. Okay, this month's goals and actions. Actually, I just want to put month's goal. This is my template. So
Okay.
whenever I have a new client come in, I just come in here, I copy this, I
Yep.
make them a template, call the client A, whatever their name is. And then now I've got a template which is easy and standardized, and then they will have their own private board, for them to put down their action items and big goals and everything like that.
Nice.
And we can track
Yep.
progress. Like my friend Luann, I've been uh, coaching her this last year, and she's basically come to a realization like, oh my god, I'm creating my bucket list, I gotta do all these things before I die, which is
Oh.
really cool.
Wow.
But she doesn't like to think of it as a bucket list because she doesn't want to think about dying. But she's like, me too, I'm good.
Oh, that's real.
So
Very real.
anyways, um okay, so let me go over any other questions, and then
Nope.
I'll go
I
over
think we
what
can do our accountability process right now. Check, come
okay.
into it, see what you set out for your week and see if you got it.
Okay, so I did send off that business registration. I'm just waiting for that to come back in. Um, don't need a checklist. Oh, I can just delete that. Delete the checklist. Okay. I did work 4 hours a day, probably more. Every day, actually more. Um, I did record the first draft of the funny ad. Last minute, but it counts, man. It
I
counts.
got it. I got it in there.
Um, oh, hold on. I've got this thought. I want to put in. Hold on. It's got to be a smart. I'm realizing smart goal one, right? I want people to have that smart goal template here.
Want to expand on SMART goal.
Um, that they know whenever they write down their action items. Oh, smart action item. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound.
There you go. Nice.
Hey, changing this in real time.
Yeah. I don't know. I like smart goal. You're saying smart goal versus smart. What you're saying? The other option is smart action item.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah, play with it. Smart action goal. All right. Smart goal. Because you have so much meaning behind. I knew you had that. You had meaning behind smart goal.
All right.
Cool.
Perfectionism. Okay. So
I like action though. That's true.
um I posted the video to YouTube.
Okay.
I found the platform for this, so that was good.
Yeah.
The rough business plan was created. I just this I actually did. Um, so I found another. I've been listening to this guy Alex Hermonzi. He's a
Hmm.
big business guy. He just gives a lot of like really straight talk. Anyways, he said instead of doing all these like funnels and stuff like that, just use like Facebook leads. Like they're simple and he's found them effective. And that's exactly what he's done to build his businesses when he's building them from scratch. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, okay. So I tested that
What are
out
what
this
are what
weekend.
are Facebook leads?
Basically, you create some sort of like small Facebook ad and it says, "Hey, blah blah blah." You know, if some people will use them for like plumbing services or any kind of like service. Doesn't matter. If you're interested in your service, put your name and your email here, and someone will contact you. Right? It's a very simple ad, and he was just sharing like that you don't have to create some super great funnel. It's just can be very effective and very easy. And so I tested that out a little bit this weekend and I got 3 leads out of it.
Hmm.
No one responded from those leads at all. So I don't know if they're good leads or anything, but someone
But they
or
were yeah, were they real? Were they phone number leads or just
yeah, I asked for name and phone number because
okay?
I wanted to cut out email and I just want to get straight to the heart. Like I just want to text someone and call them and talk to them.
Right.
I don't want to go over email and all this crap. I just want to make it super simple and straightforward as possible. Like, need accountability. Let's get on the phone and talk, and I'll help you.
Yeah.
Um,
So they were real people. They had voice messages, is what
I
I'm
don't
getting at.
know.
Oh,
I texted them, and I have not gotten a response.
uh,
So
did you try calling?
not yet because it was on a Sunday, and I was like,
Okay.
well, I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna.
yeah. Bad form. Yeah, yeah. I'd leave.
So, anyways,
Oh.
um, I am waiting to be able to add.
Did you have to pay for that? The Facebook thing?
Yeah, you do have to pay for Facebook ads. I you can pay as much as you want,
Yeah,
and really scale up. So I started out with $5, and then I got one overnight, and I was like, "Ooh, I'll boost it up." So I boosted it up to 25, and then it got 2 more, and then I was like, and then it didn't get anything else, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna pause this." So you got
yeah,
complete control with Facebook ads. I still don't. I think I created ads that were not effective, and I don't know what I'm doing yet. So it's a whole
yeah.
different.
That's kind of why I was asking those questions because I'm curious.
Yeah.
All
Um,
right.
let's see. Okay, so I did pick and commit to 2 open coaching times. I put that on my calendar.
Good.
Um, I did update my Facebook page, and I
Nice.
fixed the Facebook page for the ad. I guess it was both the same. Is there anything else? Nope,
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
it.
yeah, it'd be there.
Um,
So now on your board,
mhm.
first of all, well done. Good job. Way to get after it. That's awesome. Good job, man. Yeah, that's much better. than what you, if we went back and watched last week's video, you did not have that full list of stuff to do. So that was good that you got specific and wrote it down and made smart
Yeah.
goals.
You know what's also nice is I'm recognizing that this is evolving and getting better.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're following your conviction to bring something good into the world. Okay, so do you have your, because one a month coming to Monday, you would have next week's action items listed. Do you have that?
No, I don't yet. Um, and I don't yet because of what I was sharing about the job stuff earlier. I think that's been weighing on me. Um,
Yeah, we can talk about that afterwards if you want,
okay.
after the recording. Unless you
And
want to talk about it live.
no, we can't talk about it live. Let's jump into yours real quick
Okay.
and get yours knocked out. Um, all right.
So
Comb.
I just touched, excuse me. Yeah, that was legit. Yeah, real one. Poof.
comb,
Um,
comb your back hair.
yeah, comb that. Comb, I just had the beard. So yeah, so I accomplished that one pretty quick. And then but no, you asked me to throw a couple in there and see. Um, um, so what this is what I'm explaining. So with using your February strategy, what I did is you can see the. Now go ahead and go back to the description,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, okay, wait, there's just a description section, and I didn't want to have to write everything out again. So I just copy pasted that and then dropped it in there. And so that worked for I was able to use my platform and then
Yeah,
just
and you
copy.
can make all these checklists in here if that's what you wanted to do.
That could
Um,
you like what you just highlighted, if you made that a checklist, would it instantly turn into a checklist? No. What if you try copy paste? Because I mean I can go mess with it. Copy paste uh the breakdown and see if it'll do it. Yeah, see it's not a
no,
bummer.
but it's just one thing.
Yep, no, nobody, like I said, this again, you're
Or you
working.
could either do it as a checklist in there, or you just come in here and you just add in the new one. You can use this as your monthly goals. So it's up to you how you really want to see it. If you want to keep it all like a February one, and then a March one, and then an April one, doesn't
Yeah,
really matter. You could whatever works for you. Um, so however you be doing it.
nice. Yeah, I think as you get more and more familiar with it, depending on how a person wants to use it, I'll play around with it, because maybe I'll slide over to have it be my, the way I organize getting goals done, and maybe I'll
Yeah.
start using it. Who knows?
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
but so yeah, the February thing worked fine, and then I put a few in those just to put because one thing I didn't um I like being able to I want to be able to just to check it. So out of the monthly, going back to go back to the weekly thing.
Yeah.
So I keep track on mine. Like I can just see myself promoting my February thing and not working with that all the time. Just the thing that I interact with is all my weekly action items. And I'm like, okay, here's what he's holding me accountable for right now for the weekly thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. I can just put a check in. So I have to re-enter all my weekly stuff into there. So which I think I'm gonna do is I'll look. Yeah, because again I have to open. Anyways, I'm figuring out how to work with it. Yep. So anyway,
Yeah.
I can share my screen. I'll share my screen with you.
Yeah.
So
There's no right or wrong here.
yep. All right, you letting me share?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you have to stop sharing.
Oh, I gotta plug in my computer. It's getting me the low battery side. Hold on. Okay.
So here's mine. Um, so this is OneNote, and so I have all my like tabs over here, and these are like folders, Kid Advocate, all this stuff. So I have like my admin, which is just for Kid Advocate, and then I have all my titles under there, and then I also do have like because Kid Advocate is broken into three groups. So I have my mediation, and it has its folders, and I have my podcast, and then the transition. So it has those. And then this is all my other like personal life stuff, kind of like what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I'm opening up my Kid Advocate folder in my admin tab up at the top here. I can come over here and I can make all these pages. And so what I did was I have my 225 goals. So this is my goals for 2025 I wrote out. And it's kind of nice. I mean, these are each little, you can drop pictures in here. You can move these around. They're, it's kind of cool. And then
Yeah.
and then what I've been doing so far, what we've worked out is, so here's my February plan that I'm looking at. And right here is so here's my February goals, boom, with the pot each, my buckets, which is a total of four, because there's my admin of Kid Advocate, and then the three buckets of each division of the business. And then I have my weekly stuff. So this is what I was doing. I was just writing out, okay, cool, I gotta get my weekly stuff in. And this is what I will copy and paste to the weekly thing on yours so that you'll be able to see that. And this is, as you can tell, this is what I copied and pasted and dropped into my monthly thing for February. So I just went like, it worked pretty good. I just went like this, right? And copied it, went over to your description thing on the monthly thing, dropped it in there, and hit paste, and it made that layout. And I was like, okay, that's pretty reasonable. That was easy.
You don't, to be straight with you too, like as I go through this, like I'm not I'm not tied that you have to use um my program, right? If it
Right,
helps you, wonderful. If it hinders you, don't, and I will just put in the notes and I will just know what to hold you accountable for. Right? You
right.
can just use this and you can use this as a reference in your own mind of like, okay, I'm just going to use my program. I know what to do. But
But
what
I
I tell Brad on Monday nights is these three things, and I will put those three things into the program, you know? But if you want to put them in, that's fine too. It's not going to take that much time. So,
Yeah,
and we,
so well, my quick feedback on that is I would think you as my coach, because who knows, maybe, let's say I had like, I'm working 40 hours a week of stuff to do, and I really organize myself. I'm like, dude, I got a shitload of stuff. For you to keep track, you're gonna want me to be able to send you, because what we landed on is you want me to send you so that you can keep track, you know, and so that
oh yeah,
I'm not sitting in here deleting stuff, because I think that's what I do think that's part of the juice of this is that I'm sending off to you what I wrote at, and I can't go halfway through the week and start whining and go, okay, I'm gonna get out. Well, I won't do that one, but Brad won't really know. you know? So it's like I think the juice that you got is that thing of like, yep, here's my yes, this is what I'm doing this week, and
yeah,
boom, it's being witnessed in it, and that's what this exchange is. It's this way of holding each other.
yeah,
So somehow I have to send it to you, whatever format I do. I think part of your power and your accountability piece is, yep, at the end of the meeting, you got, yep, I need to see by this time what you're shooting for this week, what
yeah.
you think.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
so I wouldn't leave it up to me. I got to send you something. So I'll either put
well,
it,
here's what I'm saying is that you're either going to fill it out and I'm going to hold you accountable for it, or I'm going to ask you on this call and I'm going to fill it out. So either way, it's getting put into my system,
yeah, okay, yeah,
you
I could
know?
see that because you could do that thing. What I think, or the other option is like here's what I would say I could do is I can now just do it. Let's just run a practice together right now. So I'm
Sure.
gonna copy that. Here's the kid advocate. I went ahead and saved your. So there's mine. And so if I got my weekly, I have one weekly thing. So I could put this in there, click on that. And because I don't want to deal with all the dropping in because it's more for you, I already have my list. I can go like this, put my thing in there, save, and I can title it um instead of having to be that, it would be, this week's goals, kid advocates goals this week, or whoever client you work, you'll figure it out, whatever client you're working with. And then I'm like, I guess this would be,
Are
February.
you
What
in the
else?
Trello board right now?
Yeah.
No, I can't see it.
Oh, you can't.
No, you changed screens or something.
Oh shoot. Okay, here I'm doing it all.
I can just see the Microsoft OneNote.
Okay, wait. Let me do that over again then. Because yeah, that would have. Let me do it over, and you can tell me if it works. Because obviously this is us, like you said, trial and error. Let's try it together. Um, Share screen. Okay, so you can see my OneNote. I went ahead and highlighted that, copy pasted it. So now I'm switching to this. There. Now you see that?
Yep, now I can see it.
Okay. So then what I could do is, I guess I could go, I copy paste, and then I just go in here in the description, copy paste it, and this is, the February 24th week. And it's interesting, it doesn't have a save thing. So I don't know what you want to do. But anyways,
It just
there's
saves
that.
it saves it automatically as soon as you put it in.
Oh, nice. Because yeah, that was the only thing I wasn't liking. I couldn't I what I liked was, again, this is my just feedback, dude. You're gonna do your thing. I was like, oh, I like this, giving each one a title. Oh, and I just didn't want to have to make a card for every one of my, week's goals.
Mm-hmm.
Because but if you want to take the time and make whatever list your client puts up so that we can all see it, great. I don't know. Or you're just gonna hop in here and go, this is this week's, and you just see my description, because that was the other thing. Yeah, to be honest, I was like, I'm not going to go in here and check this off unless I do each one. But I like that. I like going, cool.
Well, quit overthinking it. It's copying one line at a time. You're not like have like a dissertation here with 5,000 pages, and I'm
I
asking you to
know.
put each chapter. This is like 4 lines, buddy.
I know.
Copy.
I'm definitely not saying it's wrong or bad. I'm not saying either one. I'm just like I said. So yeah, like right here, I had seven. I have
You've only got 2 left, right?
seven cards. No. But this would have been last week's thing if I put it in. I would have 7 cards here right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'd make out.
Well, the program gives you the option to like some of those with like indents and like they're maybe one thing but there's 2 things underneath. You can have one with a checklist and one then the next card just be its own little thing. You've got options,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
So again, I'm using this, at least from our feedback right now. I'm not using this as my go-to organizer. What I am using it is where once I get organized, I'm going to come here and I'm going to dump it in my weekly action thing. And then you're going to be able to look at it and keep me on track.
okay, cool. Yeah, and that's all that matters. Like, once you go in there and you can see it, it's good.
So it's depending on you too. Here's the thing. This is the part two. You're not doing this with everybody, but because of me and you're being accountable to me. How do you want me to see your stuff? Because I wasn't able to see your list.
Oh, you'll see it whenever I share it.
But I
So
need to see
whenever we do this, you'll be able to see it. Just
through the
because
week.
of the way that it's set up, um, I can't give you access to mine because it would have you be in 2 different things, and then that it puts the for whatever reason, you can't have two people in one thing. You can't have like a member who's not an admin being more than one unless you go to like the next premium level or something like that. I'm like, I don't really need that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, maybe I'm
let
not
me let me
speaking.
see let me
I'm,
see something. Maybe I could add you into that one. Hold on a second. Let me
'cause
pull it up.
that was the other thing. I don't know if you wanted. The other thing I was kind of was like, how do you have partners within your platform? Because right now, it's just you. Your clients aren't keeping you in check, but our little experiment here is me and you are keeping each other in check.
Yeah. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so I can see everything you just added. Okay, cool.
I think what matters for me. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
And then
See, when I'm on my page of the Trello, I don't see Sparks. All I see is Sparks accountability coaching. I don't see your personal stuff.
I wonder why. Who are you? Maybe you're remembering the client template. No. See, it says you're.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have your boards. Like I should see your board. And when I open up my page,
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna see. Hold on. Let's see this real quick.
yeah, I only have one under my boards. It's only Kid Advocate Network.
Oh, see if you can see. See if you can. You just be a guest.
Yeah, I just noticed a little thing says you requested to I just requested to join this workspace. If a workspace admin approves your request, other boards in this workspace will show up here. There you go.
So, request
I
it, and then
I
what's it
did.
request?
Yep. I just said I just clicked you to request. So maybe there's an updating.
You might have to hit refresh or something.
Yeah. Yep, there it is. Sparks. There we go. I'm seeing your board now.
What's also cool is this. So let's say you want to share this with a buddy. Maybe you want to share this with your kids, your sons,
I
right?
do. Yep.
You can say copy. You can come in here where it says share board. Let me just walk you this real quick. Come over here,
Yep.
share, and then copy link. And then you can just come into here and then you can just email them that.
Wait.
And
Sorry. I was looking at my board. Stop. You're sorry. You have to go. Hold on. I got to minimize I didn't realize you were doing a display, actual display. Okay.
okay. Anyways,
Go ahead.
come into your board, but it's going to look like mine, right? And
Yep.
then come over here to where it says share.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then come in here and it copy link,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
And then let's say we go into a new incognito tab. You don't have to do that. I'm just
Right.
checking here. It says Brad has given you access and I can sign up or log in. So someone else, let me just try it real quick. I'm going to try, let's see here. What's one of my other emails?
What happens if you just share the board
Hmm.
without, wouldn't it just,
Well, I don't know if there's like a view only. Um,
because when you did that again, when you said share,
oh, okay. So you could link to this board. Let me go to that. Maybe that's what you do. Okay.
just email me. How about you just email me right now? I guess I'm already signed in though, so
Oh, you
go
do
ahead.
have to sign in. I wonder. I thought there's a way to do a public board. Oh, so if you wanted to make this public, you could come in here and say, no, not close it. You'd have to change it. I forget where you change it.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're getting more, I don't know, more into the
Yeah, we're
weeds.
getting out of the realm of it. But
Yep.
anyways, there is a way to make it a public board, so other people could view this just on the internet and just be like, "Oh, okay, that's what he's up to."
Yeah.
I don't think it's very good. So, anyways, we didn't touch in on yours. Um,
Yeah,
by
we can
the
go
way,
through
here.
I'd have to go back to sharing my
Well, I've got it right here.
page.
Is this
Uh,
it?
yeah, that is most of it. Yep, I think that is it. Yeah, that's it. That was this week's
Okay.
stuff.
So you got 1 through 5 done.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you got Dagon on the same page, preferable Wednesday and Thursday recording, record podcast with Dagon Thursday, tidy up audio files. You didn't get the Audacity process simplified, or is
No,
that
I only got
incomplete?
halfway through it. I had most of it laid out and then I didn't finish it, so that's why I didn't cross it off.
Shame.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to so that one I have to move forward to next week and finalize all and none of the finalized Gen Speak stuff. It just I started doing it and didn't get it finished. So I gave myself a good list this week and I ended up having a test too. Oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. Anyway, so I didn't accomplish those stuff. Not making excuses. So I didn't accomplish it. And yeah, I'll be moving on.
So, is there anything else you need to add in?
I'm gonna add, nope, just gonna move those that I didn't quite finish, and I'll be moving those to this week's goals.
Okay, is that enough for this week?
No, I'm gonna be writing out my whole new list because I'm
Okay,
I was waiting for you to ask me if I had my new because that's what we've been doing.
that's what I'm
Is
doing right now.
okay, good. So I was waiting. Yep. So uh, no, I did not write out this list this week's stuff yet and set my goals before the meeting. So that was my other lack of accomplishment. So I'm be writing those out, and I think me and you can both set a if you want. We need to set a time. I would say by tonight. I don't know. We should. I mean, if we're wanting to keep with our practice, that we really dropped the ball because it's
No,
Monday.
we didn't drop the ball. That's I don't want to run into that. Like we didn't drop the ball. We're figuring this out.
What
That's
do
the
you want to
framework.
call it though? See, I don't know. I mean, what do you want to call it when we don't? We did not. We okay. The goal is our word was each Monday we would be meeting, checking our list,
Hmm.
and then we would have the next week's list set up. That was our goal.
Yeah, and I'm giving myself grace too.
I 100% amen to that. But I don't, I also don't, I want us to, for at least for me and you, and you
Not
might end up,
slack on that.
yeah, you might coach differently, but I'm like, I'm feeling we're at a place right now where it's like, no, we need to call what we did. No, I didn't. That's why I was waiting for you to tell me because I was like, I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm gonna just tell them, nope, I didn't do it. I didn't take it serious enough because I really could. I think if I really thought about it, I did start thinking about my God. I could have gotten up earlier and gotten that done. Shoot, I just kind of forgot. I dropped the ball. Dang it! And I sat with that discomfort. I sat with that discomfort of not doing it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got to own to Brad. I didn't do it. And I just got to try harder next time.
Yeah, I didn't get mine done, and the excuse that I made up in my mind was I got a lot done otherwise, and I'll figure it out on the fly,
Got you.
which is a part of a pattern. It's nothing. Um, yeah. So, um, which makes me come to the other question of like, um, well, where we're at right now too with time. Let me stop.
You're at an hour.
Yeah. I want to be accountable to your time too. Do you have more time or do you need to go?
If you want to keep, yeah, let me stay on track with the goal setting because what I want to do is keep to the plan. I need to set my goals for this week and I need to put them in that board
Mm-hmm.
and claim them. We come with that word either we need to witness each other or we need to like claiming them or whatever. We need to claim our goals
Yeah.
and claim them and make sure that we both see them and agree and then boom.
So, I've got learning Facebook ads as something to learn.
Wait, are you giving me your goals right now?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my list right now.
Okay, well, for my own sake, I don't necessarily need to know them right now. We want them written down is my thing.
Okay, so we need to write them down.
Yeah, because
And then,
that's what I think we're good now. I can see your board. So let's just say before each of us go to bed tonight, we're gonna look at each other's boards and see the new week's goals.
okay, great.
There, that was simple.
Getting a little tired.
That was smart. That was smart goal happening right there.
Um, okay, so let's just jump into what I was sharing, and I'm just gonna. There's a part of me that doesn't want to make this public, and there's a part of me that does, right? And
Okay, so
so,
do you mind if I start cooking some food? I haven't eaten.
nah, go for it.
Okay.
So anyways, I'm just gonna share going through this process and going through the leads and having conversations with people and making the announcement last week. Um, Making the announcement last week.
When you say
Where
announcement to what?
like I went to an entrepreneurs group and shared, who I am and what I do in the business, right?
Oh, okay.
And that ended up resulting in, having a conversation with a woman, which ended up having a deeper conversation with her about her life and, some of the things that she struggles with. And it was a good conversation. And then I did the Facebook stuff and created the lead magnets and got 2 things there. And it some of the old way in which I was running the business before and the unsuccessfulness came back in my mind. And and then I had this thing of, well, this, no matter which way you look at it, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something else could happen or shift here. But most most businesses usually take a good couple 2-3 years to really get off the ground and be successful, and some take even longer than that. And when I thought about that, I thought about my current situation and where I'm living, and I'm like, I know now that I don't have the option, quote unquote, to go out and buy a property, I'm like, man, now I realize I really do want one. I'm ready to have my own piece of land now. And maybe I could have done that in the last 3 years, but I'm not going to kick myself in the butt. Right? So
Yeah.
when I thought about that, I'm like, the fastest way for that to happen that I can think of without divine intervention is to go back and get a good job and get approved for a home loan. And so I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. And okay, cool. Let's do that. And then I was like, that doesn't mean I have to give up on this either. Right?
Right.
So I'm kind of like at a point of like, why not just, because I don't want to just, I, I don't want to just push on this and get burnt out. And I know that, a job search can get exhaustive as well. And both can be also exciting and, have its ups too. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm like, it would be a good avenue just to kind of keep things switched up and keep both things, have two pots on the burner. Um, so I'm like, okay, well, that's where I'm at right now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Um, so there's still a little piece of me that says, like the real hopeful side of me. It's like, get it going. You never know what could happen in 90 days. And like the whole thing could switch around and you get all these new clients and now you get, some money coming in and you could turn things around. Right.
Yeah.
So, or maybe crypto hits and it goes out of the roof and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is awesome. So, yeah.
You ready for my reflection?
I'm ready for your reflection, sir.
Are you sure? I only got your reflection
A lot of
of
yawning.
yeah. There. Well said. That's that. It was right there. Your body holds the score. Your body knows it's there's truth wrapped in all that you just shared, but your body knows it was showing you. It's like, yeah, no, there's some of it that's not your true self, your true revelation of what you've been working out. And so I get to be that witness to that as well because of your vulnerability and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some of the old narrative, it's some of the old story, some of the old stuff. And I think the truth. The reason why it works is that there is a truth there that you may need to have another part-time job or something like that, like sustaining money. But a lot of the narrative that I heard in there didn't resonate with me either. Yeah, of course you want property, of course you want this, and yeah, that should even drive you that much harder right now to like you can actually work on this 40 hours a week. That 20-hour thing that you said, I'm like, dude, you're completely freed up. You literally could be doing a standard job of 40 hours a week. And if not, you feel like you have a window of time for your finances. That's real too. That's just real. But you could get your SMART goals. And that's what I would say in your next kind of iteration of where you're going right now. I can't encourage you enough. You're onto something, you're doing it, you got accountability. I'm supporting you. And if you really do feel this is what you want to do, and that's what you've shared, like I really want to I want to be able to do this full time. And so you it's interesting, right? You invited that in. So really, you want to be doing
Well,
it full time?
let me tell you what I
I'm
got.
gonna lay you off. Universe is all really. You want to do it full time? Okay, I'm gonna lay you off. There you go. Here's your truth. Do it full time. And now you have a window at least for a month, maybe. Man, a month, 4 weeks. That's 160 hours. You know, go hard.
Here's what happened. So I talked to my brother this weekend, and he was supportive when I told him when I got laid off. And he's like, "Okay, cool." And then this Sunday, I talked to him again, just following up with him and stuff like that. And then I was telling him, I was working on the business and getting some things done and blah blah blah. And then he was like, and then he's like, it doesn't hurt to like put out some applications too. And I think that was kind of his way of saying, um, kind of like that motherly, fatherly, like, hey, I don't want to see you fail and fuck up again. Like, don't, uh, not that he's not going to care about me or anything like that, but he's also seen me struggle too. Just like if, you know, like Yeah. It's the same thing of like a mom or dad were to see their kid like go through something and be like, kind of pick the option that was working there, buddy. You were making money and things were working, and like it's not the worst thing in the world. Um, so yeah, I mean it's a real struggle. It's a real issue for me, because I wasn't happy at the job, and I also fucking have stupid mission.
Right. Right.
It's like mother effer. It's like I got to be the head chicken or something, you know. So,
I honestly, bro, I do think so, man. I do think like to truly move into knowing this is why these cyclical patterns happen, the transformational process. And so you have to weather some of the fear, some of the poverty, and you've already been through some of these ups and downs. And yeah, you had that job, and yeah, maybe you'll do it, get another job. But at least what I'm seeing, man, as and I can only speak what I see, not what you should do, obviously, right? I can only
yeah,
reflect back, and then that's the beauty of having friends that
yeah,
reflect truthfully.
that's what we're doing
So
as far.
yeah, so you're gonna I know you're gonna find it, but I do sense I celebrate the I'm a the I'm farm guy, the nature guy. It's like there's the seasons, the composting, the times of the spring of birth and new life, and times of sitting with stuff. So there's all these different seasons, and it's cyclical, it's yearly, I would say. Like so, I'm sensing. Now, I'm not saying don't get a job, don't. Um, the thing that didn't click was a lot of the story that you had because I felt it dropped. That's why you have your recordings, your videos to go back on and look. You're like, I want to do this full time, and so to manifest that, it is funny to hear that to say, really, you want to do? Okay, you got laid off. You can do it full time. Maybe it's not making money right now, but you can do it full time. You could sit here and be investing in it and really waking up with that fire and seeing what part of it is. Because then maybe what might be revealed is you only want to do it part time and you do want to be a part of a job or whatever. But
That's what I was kind of coming to in my head. I was like, okay, so I'm starting to do this, and I know I'm still in the beginning aspects of this, and is it still something I want to do? You know?
yeah, yeah, I think that's important, man. Because yeah, we have our ideas sometimes. Yeah, I think you're. So I'm not pushing you away from what you're saying, but I believe your body showed you a lot of its fluff. Where the yawning, the fluffiness of it, that it was just like some of that story. I think it was showing you that, and that's what I want to support you in because I think you are tapping into something that you really have always wanted to do. And I believe in you, man. I believe in that, and I think you got to be your own coach and for yourself in this time, and really be able to experience, do the work yourself. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
to
I'm
follow
not.
through.
I'm in agreement with you.
It's been a big statement that 4 years of knowing you is that that there's been that pattern to follow through, and even
Yeah.
that maybe just having this completely followed through where you actually claimed your 10 clients or let's say it's 5, but I would say shoot, if 10 sounds like a reasonable amount.
There is, that woman I met on the cruise, um, when she shared some of her story with me, and she shared like how she struggled, and when she was able to make it for herself, like the fulfillment that came from that was just really super gratifying.
Mm,
Like I took a risk on myself, and I did it, and I'm proud of who I am.
nice,
You know.
nice. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I hear you, man. So thanks for sharing. And I would say you don't, as a friend, I'm not giving you a blessing. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, it's not like, yeah, dude, you're right. Get a job right now. go ahead and put this more on the back burner. I hope you're not, that doesn't sound right to me. I would say it feels right that what's played out is this is your priority. This is your 30 hours a week, and you put 5 to 10 hours in to looking for a job or asking, that process of part-time, because this is, you get this going, this you could probably do part-time. The way you have it set up, you could be doing it part-time, that it is only maybe 15 to 20 hours a week. If you get that infrastructure in there, you start building the clientele, and then if that ends up generating $2,000 a month, that's great. And then you do end up having a job, because that's the kind of money you're going to need. And you have a regular job, now you're into the it's to $5,000 a month, which is what you want for land and buying property and all that. And you have some kind of freedom. So yeah, I think you're on the right track, man. But
okay, I'll just continue doing what I'm doing with this, continue to working on things, and continue to just network and reach out and apply to,
yeah,
just to keep things moving and to keep both sides of the brain and heart.
yeah,
Like,
love it.
okay, well, we'll put it out there and yeah, okay, cool, thank you.
Nah, no worries. Even in that speech right there, I felt different in your speech. There's no fluff in that. That sounds, yeah. No, you didn't. Like, that was just like, that was Brad's speech. I felt, yeah, you went, that's right. This is what I wanted a priority right now. I saw you renewed in that. You're like, that's right, I do. And there's nothing wrong going, yeah, of course, I might need to get a part-time job. That's, bills are reality, man.
Ooh, that's what I'll put on my list. That's what I have not been. That's what I have been avoiding. Part-time job. I'm gonna put that on the list.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm gonna stop the recording. All right. Thank you.
No worries. All right, brother. So